Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It's very interesting how some groups, entities, people sometimes introduce themselves or insert themselves in some issues that have nothing to do with them. But they think that they have the authority or they should have the authority to have a say. And sometimes they don't. Nevertheless, they are blaming those parties that don't want to take them into consideration as being this or being that. In this case, we have the G7, and the G7 is an organization, a group of the most industrialized countries. That's all it is. Okay? So they are discussing economics, and that's all they do. Now, what would that have to do with, I don't know, Zaporozhye nuclear power plant deal? Okay, well, they have something to do with that. Let's see what they want. This article comes from Ukrinform, and this is the title. G7 calls on Russia to, my favorite word now, immediate return full control of Zaporozhye nuclear power plant to Ukraine. Immediate. They call on Russia. First, Russia is not part of your group because I think you boot it out. We didn't even get it in. It will never be anything important there, right? So that's the first thing. Second, what authority do you have? Thirdly, you're an economic group. What are you talking about? That's a war over there. And that's Russia and Ukraine. Are they part of your group? You're concerned. Okay, if you're concerned, why don't you tell Biden to tell those guys over there in Ukraine, his little 4 pigs, to stop, not little 3 pigs, 4 pigs, to stop what they're doing and say, okay, let's talk with the Russians and go back and discuss. Why don't you tell them? I think that would happen. The whole thing would stop in maybe, I don't know, 3 hours. Exaggeration, but not really. So the group of 7 industrialized nations has condemned Russia's kidnapping of the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. It's war, man. That's what you do during the war. I take what's yours, and if you're strong, you take what's mine. You want an example? Look at the United States of America. Look, if you want another example, look at Israel. Israel is in violation on many UN resolutions and this and that condemn Israel's occupation of some territories through war that did not give back ever. Regardless how that got, they got it, they didn't give it back. Under the international law, that's a violation. Do you see any sanctions going against or on Israel? Do you see the United States doing anything? Yes. You know what the United States does? Vetoes. That's what it does. And it's just like this each and every time. This guy tried to condemn Israel for this and that. So spare me. Okay, so they kidnapped the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. Okay, and they called for the immediate return of full control of the facility to Ukraine. Okay, I think they already did it. And I'm quoting, "We condemn Russia's repeated kidnapping of Ukrainian Zaporozhye nuclear power plant leadership and staff," the G7 non-proliferation chiefs said, according to Reuters. Well, that's good. Well, they, how do you call it? What the word they use? Kidnap. They kidnap them and then they let them go and then keep them back again and then let them go. Those guys can leave whenever they want. I don't remember the Russians keeping them over there forcefully at the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. Did you? I didn't. I'm not saying that's right. But I'm saying, if it's bad, why do you stay, right? Okay, Russians are bad. I got that one. But if you realize that, why do you still stay over there? For the safety of Ukraine and the world? Again, spare me with that one. We urge Russia to immediately return full control of the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant to its rightful sovereign owner, Ukraine, the statement said. Ukraine is not a sovereign owner of its territory, leadership, army, society, mass media, education, and finance. It's not. The guys are. You don't believe me? Okay, we'll see. If we're having, I give you, regardless of what the outcome of this thing would be in Ukraine between United States and Russia, regardless, we will in 5 years, 7 years, maximum 10 years, find out certain things that right now we just used as scenarios, but kind of like, I think I have a gut feeling that's what's occurring. Like right now, I think I have a gut feeling that there are troops, NATO troops in Ukraine. Polish troops, British troops, American troops. These are the three that I wouldn't surprise, and maybe French. I would give 98% certainty. We're going to find about this out in about 10 years, or 7 years, or 5 years, not even 10 years. If after the thing is over, regardless how it's going to be over. Right? We're going to find out as well that the HIMARS were never operated by the Ukrainian, probably, again, 99% certain. I have to share with you that. And other complicated, high-tech weapons that need more training than a weekend, okay? And the speaking of English language and using this alphabet and not the Cyrillic and many other things. But anyway, what do I know? Ask U.S. retired Colonel McGregor if you don't believe me. All right. So let's see what's next here. So it says that Russian forces captured the nuclear power plant, Europe's largest, in early May. On Wednesday, Ukraine's state nuclear energy agency, Energoatom, accused Russia of detaining 2 senior employees at the plant. That's true. And were they doing the enemy's bidding? If they did, they could be eliminated summarily, so easy, fast, okay? So if they were communicating with those guys that are the enemies of the Russians, those people that were kidnapped, they could be shot on the spot as traitors, as spy, as whatever you want to call them, something like that. Or they can make up a new word. They can. Like those guys made in Nuremberg trials, remember? I think it was genocide, the word, right? Or crimes against war crimes or something like that. And you can't try someone with a term that you just create for that particular... if the crime did not exist before the trial, I think you can't use it in the trial or something. I can't remember the term. But very interesting. So... it says here that Energoatom said Russian invaders on Monday abducted the plant IT head, Oleg Kostyukov, and Assistant General Director Oleg Osheka. Now the IT, I would be the one that I will make sure I keep an eye on because he can do a lot of hanky-panky. He's very witty with communication, maybe. So Energoatom had called on International Atomic Energy Agency chief Rafael Grossi to make every effort to secure their release. I think they were released already. Another plant official, Valery Martinyuk, had been released according to Ukrainian reports. Yeah, I told you. They just checked his butt a little bit, checked his teeth a little bit, see if they're very well attached over there, maybe uppercut a little bit, and then instructed to be careful because next time would be harsher. Well, that's how the interrogation methods are used in many parts of the world. Some people use waterboarding, some people use, other methods. Anyway, G7 tells Russia to immediately release that and give the sovereignty of the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant to its rightful owners, which are the Ukrainians. And I think Putin himself is jogging towards the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant and says, guys, stoy, change that, let them be. We were dumb to do all this. Let's go back to, I don't know, to the grave, because I don't think these guys want them to go anywhere else until they go there. They will not stop of anything until they become Russia of 1991 or between 1991 and 1999. Yeltsin time. That was the best whorish time of Russia. Any client could come, use and abuse, and not pay. Well, that's why I turn it again to that. And Putin did not want that. And the Russians kind of know. That's why he has a 80-some approval rating. And Biden has below 40. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.